I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is the art of surrender. So this is going to be a serious episode. I have previously spoken about being in the jaws of life. Being in the jaws of life means that you are in the grip of a significant misfortune. And reality being what it is, this is a situation that unfortunately no one can indefinitely escape. As far as I can tell, the mortality rate on this planet remains 100%. Not only are we ourselves going to die, but everyone that we know, everyone that we love, and everyone that we care about is going to die as well. We're all in the same boat, fellow passengers to the grave, as Charles Dickens wrote. And for many people, the loss of a loved one can be even more frightening and painful than our own deaths. Like there are few experiences more difficult to withstand than witnessing the decline and loss of someone we love. Few things inspire more hopelessness and powerlessness than being unable, but not unwilling, to help a loved one who is suffering. Since we are all functionally guaranteed to pass through this experience, today I'm going to talk about a strategy that will help you navigate this circumstance. While there is almost always something that we can do to help others, sometimes the unfortunate reality is that what we can do still amounts to very little in the scheme of things. It certainly may not be enough to change the outcome. And when this is the case, we need to practice the art of surrender. The art of surrender is the process of relaxing into your powerlessness. It is an acknowledgement that the vast majority of circumstances is outside your domain of control, which is how it has always been and how it will always be. And this is really important to remember. Why? Because from the perspective of objective reality, the moment you're passing through in which you feel hopeless and powerless is no different from any other moment you've already experienced when you weren't feeling this way. Reality has not changed. What's changed is your awareness of reality. In reality, you have been hopeless and powerless your entire life. However, it hasn't caused you the pain you are currently experiencing because you are not acutely aware of this fact. But this also means that being hopeless and powerless has not prevented you from living and loving and working and feeling well. This is because even in the midst of our hopelessness and powerlessness, we are generally provided for. A great way to remember this is to go on a mindfulness walk. No earbuds or music or podcasts. Just take a walk around your neighborhood and see what your eyes see and hear what your ears hear. Observe the nature all around you. You do not make the trees grow, or the birds sing, or the sun shine. You do not make the wind blow, or the earth hold, or the world turn. You don't even make your eyes see, or your ears hear. These are things they do all on their own. And this is because your body is actually part of divine nature. You do not know how to beat your heart, or secrete your bile, or engage in mitosis. Anyone who believes otherwise is dramatically overextending their identity. They might as well think they make the moon rise, right? We are not separate from the rest of existence. We're nature experiencing itself with a dash of emergent consciousness to spice up the experience. And nature unfolds without our effort or participation. If you're interested in taking your understanding to the next level, I would encourage you to check out the Captain's Quarters, my members-only self-improvement community. Your monthly membership will get you access to a cadre of like-minded, supportive individuals, bi-monthly group consultation sessions hosted by yours truly, and exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. Click the link in the description for more information. Hope to see you aboard. Now, the purpose of this walk is to further accept the reality that you are not in the driver's seat. While so many things are outside of our control, which can be scary, this also means that so many things are not our responsibility, which can be relieving. And you didn't move from the driver's seat to the passenger seat when you began to feel powerless. You were in the passenger seat the entire time. You had just been asleep, and now you are awake. So being in the passenger seat isn't necessarily a problem. Someone else was driving the entire time. It hadn't been up until the point you woke up, so it doesn't actually have to be a problem now. And I think this is a good moment to remind folks of the serenity prayer. God, give me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's a very simple prayer and maybe somewhat cliched, but that doesn't detract from its fundamental usefulness. Like any person in possession of those three things will move through life with much more peace and much, much less suffering. The height of wisdom, of course, is to know the difference. And as Epictetus reminds us, this is where the difficulty lies. Even if we could all agree on what is, say, good or bad, or strength or weakness, or right or wrong, which we can't, it falls to each one of us to apply these general categories to particular cases. And there's no real point in having the right definition or conceptualization if you lack the judgment to apply the category correctly. However, to the extent that we can cultivate these three things, acceptance, courage, and wisdom, we can learn to be good passengers within the vessels provided us by nature. Of course, this is much easier to say than it is to do, and it's especially difficult to do when you're currently in the jaws of life. And that's why it's a really, really good idea to practice the art of surrender intensely and repeatedly before you actually need to use it. Begin to accept the transience of all things before they fade away, which they will. If you practice frequently and seriously enough, then once the time comes, you'll be able to navigate that moment with much greater success and equanimity. That's what I have for you. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And please send this episode to someone who you think might benefit from its message. I know you know somebody who needs to hear this because it's word of mouth referrals like this that really help to make the channel grow. Other value props, people who are looking to join my free weekly newsletter for which I write original content or book a paid one-on-one consultation with me can do so on my website. There's also my best-selling book, The Value of Others, in which I explore models of relationship, and my private member community, The Captain's Quarters, where I host bi-monthly group consultation calls. It's a really great group, lots of value in both of those propositions. Check them out if you're so inclined. The links to everything are in the description below. And as always, I appreciate your support, and I thank you for listening.